What's up, Alphas? It's your boy, Alphas, man. Looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy. And I see the Alphas in the building. Today we joined with Unico Williams. He's going to be here for a short while because he got something to do. But he might, I don't know if he might stay the whole time. But this week we are reviewing all the shows. By the way, update. We are live for the first time Friday after the show. We're going to try this out, see if it works. We're going to try to see what me and Tori going to tell you about all the shows. Tori going to tell you more about Rampage because I'm muted because Chris Jericho annoyed me, but that's the truth. I'm muted because Chris Jericho annoyed me, but
I thought it was a new gimmick he might leave. I'm not gonna lie, but he's still
I thought
there.
he was going to at least use the gimmick. No, he's the same annoying person.
I was gonna say he didn't even change nothing. He was trying to argue with Taz the whole time. Like, you're both heels now. You should get along with
So he
it.
got muted after the Lance Archer Dustin Rhodes match, and I kind of stopped paying attention when it's muted. But next week we will do a WrestleMania special live. We will be doing a watch along. That means we will not show you the screen. We will do a watch along. They'll get to see it. I think Joe will be here for that. So we will do a watch along.
We get live topics.
Yes. And so,
I'm here for pay-per-view.
yeah. So so we will not watch the show. We will not have this show next week. Instead, we'll be talking about all the shows. All right, Supercard. We're gonna talk about that or in between. Cause you know WrestleMania got all that. They got in between doing.
Oh yeah, a lot of wrestling WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about all the shows that's going on there. It's WrestleMania weekend. Matt Cardona probably gonna do something wild. You know, he always show up during WrestleMania weekend. And so we got a lot to going on next week. So if you here, you want to watch it with your boys, we here for you. You know what I mean? We here to watch it with you next Saturday and Sunday, 2 nights, a long weekend. So
there's gonna be some profanity. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
yeah, that show will not be.
I can already
That show
feel
will
it.
not be monetized. Sunday looks amazing. Saturday, I'm not sure about yet.
Saturday's iffy. Sunday, hard to
Yeah,
miss.
AJ, Edge, Pat, Austin, the Roman, bro,
Yeah,
and all the matches you kind of want to see. So that'll be on Sunday, but we'll see if Saturday can pick it up. I don't know what they're doing, Ricochet or Finn Balor.
Get Stone Cold Saturday though, so that's always.
That's how they're getting everybody to come Saturday, and Bianca and all the women's matches. So shout out to them. Hopefully,
Yeah, I was gonna say. I kind of hope Bianca loses, but we'll get into that come WrestleMania.
You really want people to riot right now, but right now we're gonna give Joe.
I want real heat, man.
Cause after you get out, that story gonna be hard to build her back up if she loses again.
She can't climb that. I ain't gonna lie. If she don't win here, she might be mid card Bel
You know what I'm
Air.
saying? That after getting beat 26 seconds, getting your second chance to beat the person that upset you and then lose again.
After you were the first black woman to main event WrestleMania last year, now you losing to the white woman the next year after you lost to her in 26 seconds at SummerSlam. Woo!
Yeah. But Joe want to say something because we do want to Triple H retire today. Joe want to say something, so the floor is yours, Joe.
Give him the eulogy.
Well, he ain't dead. I don't want.
His career is over.
Yeah.
They might as well hit the 10 bells.
Under the especially amid the news that he was fired by Vince McMahon. I just want to express to Hunter Hearst Helmsley, aka he's got some kind of funny last name, so I don't
Paul Levesque.
Paul Lubinay. What it
Levesque.
To me, he was always this rich man from Connecticut. From Connecticut. And when I first met Triple H, he was just some snooty guy. But I wasn't watching wrestling like that. But then we got into the attitude era, and he was Triple H, not Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He was Triple H. And then he would go on from being just the badass that runs this group of other badasses that we all liked and loved.
Everybody loved DX.
He turned into the cerebral assassin, the game.
The King of Kings.
That's the part that I love so
Yeah.
much when he became the King of Kings. And when Triple H, and now you gotta look at this. He goes from super rich kid on the East Coast to badass, running around with DX, to just running a company somehow as being Triple H, and then running on.
He married the boss's daughter, took over the company, revolutionized independent wrestling for a good almost 10 years.
Well-deserved career, well-deserved nickname. And I will never forget how great you were, Triple H. And you deserve the nickname, the Cerebral Assassin, because you did it, brother. You're good.
That's a fact.
Despite body transformations that was clear to all of us.
We knew when the steroids got cut off.
We
allegedly.
And I'm trying to pay homage here, because here we are at 2022, and you're somebody that I'll never forget. And this is why I love him also, because every kid in elementary school they group of friends had to decide who was in DX.
Yep. Who was spitting the water?
Every grade in your school, in elementary school, they probably did it in middle school. I wasn't there yet when DX started, but
yeah, that was a little early.
It was such an honor for me to be Triple H.
Of course.
It was an honor.
I was always Road Dogg.
Deep down inside, I really wanted to be Shawn Michaels, because he got all the girls.
That does not surprise me at all. Joe wanted to be
a heartthrob, but
Joe wanted to be Shawn Michaels.
Shout out to my boy Malcolm Cram. He's the heartbreak kid. I'm sorry. So he gets all the girls. So with that being said, Triple H, you are 100% honored. Your career is honored. Please don't let Vince call you in like 5 or 6 years while he's still trying to figure out what else he's doing on. Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a TK Vince McMahon merger at some point. But at the end of the day, don't let him talk you into that. Take care of your health. And the heart is all you got when it comes down to it. Nothing moves without the heart. And you've always shown yours. So we gotta lay the sledgehammer to rest. Godspeed.
No one else can use it. Take it out from underneath the ring.
No more sledgehammers. That's dead.
Sledgehammers in the rafters now.
Man, what if they made a ring of honor and start putting like chairs and tables and stuff like for the Hardys?
Oh Lord.
For the Hardys.
Hey, if they did it for Ring of Honor, it'd be too many to retire. You couldn't. That Hall of Fame be too big. Too many pieces of furniture in there.
I'm noticing Zell May's background is blue. So like that reminds me of the first blue chairs that WWE was using back in the day.
I was going to say, they used to use them when they'd take up arena spaces and didn't have all the seating for the court. They'd set out them blue chairs.
Oh, memory lane has been great. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Then I'll get on out of here on thoughts on Triple H and his career.
You can stay around if you want to. We're going to try to not make it too long because this is our first live show, so I don't expect a lot of people to be here.
Cool, man. I'm here to stay. We just playing Red Dead Redemption 2 tonight.
I bet, but man, he's the game. He's the Cerebral Assassin. He molded NXT. He gave a lot of wrestlers a check from WWE because he had memorable moments. When he came back to that song, the game, in the blue leather and the blue jean jacket with the sledgehammer with the wet hair, you were like, oh, he got wet hair now. Started a trend, Started a trend.
He did. Now every wrestler with long hair, it's wet.
You saw this be slick back, and that's how wet hair just come out.
Yep. To this day, when you see Roman come out, the hair ain't dry.
You can't have dry hair no more. So he started a lot of trends. He taught a lot of people. But we're gonna talk about this later. WWE Evil, you see how he took Randy Orton under the ring. We're going to brag about that. Only 2 episodes I ain't seen, and that's Stephanie's and Ric Flair's. But I've seen all the other ones because I had skipped to Roman's because this.
You think Stephanie's going to talk about her alleged relationship with Macho Man Randy Savage while she was underage?
I really doubt.
You think they're hitting deep like that? Because I'm there for the deep cuts.
I don't know if they're going that far in this show, but
if we want to get real, that's the real reason why Macho Man never came. You look at it, everybody came back after WCW folded. Everybody, even Hulk came back. Razor and Diesel came back. Only person that ain't come back was Macho Man, and he was an earner. What other reason would Vince McMahon not bring Macho Man, other than said story that if you haven't heard, you can go find on the internet anyways. We've been hearing it for 20 plus years now, but this is about Triple H.
Yeah, it's about the game.
Not about his wife's former trysts with 30, 40-year-old men while she was
This is starting to be a bad
You see, that's why we don't monetize these shows. Get Tori talk about wrestling, we don't monetize. But yeah, he came back. His promo with Seth was amazing. He cut a lot of promos that were amazing. He did a lot. That it's things he didn't do, but we human and people don't do everything all the way. But amazing career to one of my favorite wrestlers ever. And to Joe point, maybe Cody Rhodes take out the sledgehammer against Seth Rollins.
Nah, it's going up in the rafters. it's going up in the rafters.
Well, Triple H can hand him the sledgehammer. That'll be a dope moment.
That'd be wild, but why would he hand it to Cody and not? Hey, Triple H.
Yo, let's be honest. Tori. Let's be honest. Cody want to be Triple H. Let's not pretend like.
Oh, so bad. He tried so hard at AEW. It just didn't work.
He want to be Triple H, so.
Brandy just doesn't translate like Stephanie does. I'm sorry. Even though she is a strong black woman, she does not translate to billionaire white lady.
Oh, why you say it like that?
Because it's too hard to believe, Zelmay.
Yeah, like well, I don't see what, but we're here to we're giving. I'm gonna give my love to the game. He's on my Mount Rushmore since that epic promo where Jim Ross threw him the line about the game, and he said, "I am the game." And fun fact: Triple H debuted his pro career the year and day I was born. So
yes,
it was the start of a great era. Indeed.
30 years ago yesterday, matter of fact.
Yes.
He started career.
Man.
I think he might have wanted to try to get it yesterday, but he couldn't. Maybe they had a scheduling issue. Because
he couldn't tweet it out.
I think he wanted to do it on TV because he clearly Stephen A.
He
fed it to Stephen
A. That
A.
would have been a good part for SmackDown if they'd have had Triple H come out but he had so many moments from his feuds with Shawn to the two-man power trip with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Still one of the most underrated odd couple tag teams in my opinion. I mean, Triple H and Stone Cold. That's just an amazing. I mean, how do you beat that? How do you beat that tag team? How did they ever lose the titles? Well, Vince Russo booking. That's how. But Triple H was the king of kings. I mean, you touched on Seth Rollins, the whole feud he did with Seth Rollins leading after the breakup of the Shield, and Seth Rollins using the pedigree, which I think he should bring back into rotation amongst all this. I think Seth Rollins should bring the pedigree back into his moveset now that Triple H is officially retired.
He's Bryan Danielson's second biggest rival.
Or this that's a fact.
I can't say he first. We all know who first is. I'm gonna talk about that later, but 100%. Like
I'm just asking, does that get a pop if Triple H does some sort, if he somehow passes the torch
if he passes, he already did it. So you don't get the he already passed the pedigree to Seth Rollins in the story.
His last match was with Randy Orton, which is kind of dope.
Yeah. Evolution collides one last time. But I mean you could just go over Triple H highlights for hours.
2003 Triple H, Shawn Michaels. Shawn, I don't know who did that. We're gonna find him. It was you, Triple H.
It was Triple H the whole time. Think if they would have just when they had to retcon Rikishi, they should have just had it be Triple H the whole time. Like they just threw Rikishi in front of the Bullets back then. I did it for the Rock.
He didn't do it for the Rock, Tor.
He didn't.
That 2003 storyline was good. Eric Bischoff like he cannot wrestle. In a sanctioned match, it doesn't have to be sanctioned. Bischoff
sanctioned.
We love it. We love it. That's the theater.
I mean, that's all you can say about Triple H. He put career numbers on the board for real. I mean, held every title you could think of. reinvented himself multiple times, married the boss's daughter, took over the company. I mean, gave indie wrestling an attainable gold standard until we kicked it down and tie-dyed it. We'll see how that works out in the long run. But
what's up, championship rounds? Just hitting my guy up in chat.
R.I.P. Triple H's career and the black and gold. So it's sort of, I mean, it's poetic that we lose Triple H and we lose NXT all within the black and gold version of NXT all within the same year.
Yep. So I hope he continues good health, take care of his kids. We know he loves his kids. Hope he have a good rest of his life. Hopefully he can get back to work in some aspect. So,
and just want to throw it out there, like you were talking about, there's hours and hours of highlights. Like there's hours and hours of highlights of Triple H, even in losses when he loses.
Oh yeah,
highlights. Like he's getting someone over, he's giving a champion to somebody. But it's in epic fashion. And also keep in mind,
he's holding somebody down. We gonna keep it 100 right now. Triple H has put his foot
this
on
is his retirement. We'll do that next week.
There is sometimes that he won without cheating. So I'm just throwing it out.
Hey, but those are some of the highlight losses though, kinda. Is him holding people down. How many people have had highlight losses to Triple H?
The entire WCW roster.
Oh yeah, all of them.
Triple H beat every one of them at a pay-per-view. I promise you. It's every one of them that came back.
Eddie Guerrero, Booker T,
Goldberg.
Dean Malenko.
What, he the first person to beat Goldberg? He the first person in WWE to beat Goldberg? Because The Rock lost to him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, he was the king of kings, though.
He even got Sting at the end. Before
he had to get in. He got in on Sting, and then Seth Rollins ended that, and now Sting is back and crazier than ever. 62 years old, jumping off a scaffolding through 3 tables. I mean, at 62, Sting the same age as my mama. That's wild, bro. What are you doing jumping through tables?
He feeling younger again. And he thanked Cody Rhodes for saying he still got that aura, so Cody Rhodes got Sting back in the ring.
Yeah.
By the way, we're going to talk about this later, but I'm going to tell y'all something funny later about Tori. And it's an interesting fact. He already know what it is, I think, because we mentioned it in the group chat, but it's going to be funny when we get to that part. But let's get into some wrestling. We 15 minutes in. Triple H Reign of Terror was a low point. Hey man, don't bring that, man. Hey, championship rounds, bro. We trying to give him flowers today. We do that next week.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about the bad because he was burying people for a while and that WCW round. But yeah, we talk about that next week.
He had a shovel for a good portion of his 30 years in wrestling.
They nicknamed it the Golden Shovel with Triple H.
Good, because he buried.
Yeah, but
you eating his finisher, he getting that pin, you losing at a pay-per-view. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
Good.
Vince McMahon's his father-in-law. What you gonna do?
Nothing.
Yeah, but
you mess around too long, you join y'all know the club.
Yeah. But let's get in some wrestling. Friday Night Smackdown. It's a pretty uneventful show, but the wrestlers, when they get time, they show they still elite class at WWE because Shinsuke and Jimmy had a match.
They put on a clinic.
And you saw the crowd was into it.
Hey, you know who the crowd wasn't into really though? Xavier Woods, but we're gonna get there. Has the New Day lost its glow with Big E's broken neck?
When we get to that, I'm gonna tell you why that was, because it was a reason, because I saw a lot of people.
Okay, I want to hear it because I was just
I saw some people at the building say why, because there's a reason. Okay. And then looking at it on the show, it kind of made sense because let's talk about it now. That Shinsuke match is good. Good to see Shinsuke get a win. It was a good match.
I always love for him to get a win.
It's always a good thing. But let's go to that Xavier Woods thing. They said, and watching back at the show, they said they had three video packages, 2 commercials before he came out. The crowd was like retired. There was somebody at Brooklyn at the
I was about to
Barclays
say
Center.
they said during the commentary, like I wouldn't understand why it was supposed to be a surprise, because Michael Cole literally said Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods before the ring announcer announced Xavier Woods. So I was like, well, you killed the surprise factor at home off the bat. Like you just.
They said the crowd was hot, and then they had like 3 video packages what they did for every match. And then they had the little segment. Then they had 2 commercials.
Still in time on the road to WrestleMania.
And I'm like, why y'all have that? So that's why Xavier Woods. That match was a bunch of nothing matches. We got a whole bunch of shows to get to, so we ain't gonna. Ricochet lost twice in a night as the new.
Twice in one night. He should go back to Paducah or put a mask on him. Vince, put a mask on Ricochet.
Yo, Vince, I don't know how you think you build a mid-card champion, but having him get beat twice in a night is not how you do it. Even if he win next week, he lost twice in a night.
Like 2 cousins. One wears tearaway pants. You had your Intercontinental champion get beat by a man who wears tearaway pants to the ring on a regular basis.
I still don't understand WWE logic in having your champ have to lose to somebody get a title. Like, hey, you got to beat the champ to get the title, man. I'm like,
yeah, why would you have them lose to get a title shot? Like it defeats. That is one of the greatest mysteries of WWE booking, is how it makes sense for you to get a title shot. You got to beat the champion. You don't get the belt the first time you beat them. That just means you get a chance at the belt if you can beat them.
You know what makes Roman special? Like almost every time he wrestle, if it's not a tag match, it's for the belt, and it makes it special.
Yep. Because he doesn't wrestle regularly. Like Roman doesn't get that lost treatment. Like you don't get a what do they call it? A championship contenders match against Roman. You have to go against the Usos to get to him, or he set something else up. So he's put a layer there, so he doesn't get that direct contact of the championship contenders curse, the Triple C, and not the. They want
casual fans to feel like they can actually win. I feel that, but that's still weird. Like you don't see people in UFC like, hey, you gotta beat Usman to get it. Nobody would get a shot at Usman if you had to beat Usman in UFC to fight. He would never defend the belt.
Okay, those are different.
It's still a championship feel. You know why Usman feels special or Khabib felt special? Because once you face him, it's for the belt, and if you win, you got a chance to win.
Yes, but there's no
Tori,
predetermination involved there. So the championship feel is there.
Tori, if Ricochet wins last week, we still know he lost to both of them this week.
Yeah. But they had Vince's ever-living magic of interference. Somebody interfered, so I mean it's a tainted results.
You lost twice to interfere. You didn't know they interfered?
I mean, they had Angel Garza hide under the ring and grab his foot for a count out. Come on now.
I guess they like the count out don't work, but I'm like, your champion shouldn't lose until they lose the belt. That's one of my biggest beefs with.
That's why Ric Flair was so amazing though back in the day. That's why there was so much aura when he held like the AWA belts and the NWA title, because freaking he was flying around everywhere, and you couldn't really get a title shot out of him all like that. And then when you finally got one, it was so good when the babyface finally beat him that freaking.
But the problem is WWE doesn't do that for everyone. Charlotte doesn't fight single matches to beat Charlotte to get the belt. Roman doesn't do that. Becky doesn't do that.
Well, that's because she's Rick's daughter and Roman's Roman.
Hey, if you watch WWE Evil, which I'm going to talk about later, Vince literally was like, yo, he's the wrestler. He's like the wrestler I dreamed of creating. Roman, right? Yeah. So if you don't know, so WWE creative, the top dude, Vince didn't say it, but the WWE top creative is like, Vince saw him and like, Vince like, that's a guy created in my mind for a perfect wrestler. So that show actually went in. We're gonna talk about it later, but that show actually went into that thought process on people being right that Vince said it, and they actually went deep. And like, yo, Vince was hard on him because you're like, I imagined him being a character that I invented in my head. So
how long has he been in his head is the real
question. As soon as they saw him,
like,
he said at FCW when he came to the door, they said Vince like, that's the guy.
I mean, it doesn't hurt when you're related to The Rock. And, I mean, heck, think when he came into FCW, what, he was just off of playing college football, probably 23, 24 years old, something like that, maybe a little older.
He got just beat cancer, too, because they tell all that stuff in WWE. Yeah. It goes to the whole story, and it's amazing. But we're going to go over there in a minute. But after that, a bunch of replays. Ronda had a horrible first round championship. That's why it took so.
They gotta get somebody to talk to Rousey.
That's why it took so long for Roman to get over. That's true.
Don't do it for me.
The second half was a lot better. That first half, she completely forgot a line, and then she just winged it after that. So why do we call her women?
She's a real fighter, though. That's the thing. She doesn't have that.
Yeah.
That showmanship that's needed for professional wrestling.
Like when she doesn't fit when she cuts a promo. It doesn't feel like the look, right? Like her whole mystique feels elite level, and then she talks. I'm like it's odd.
Like Keith Lee.
It's odd with her though because she is literally the perfect wrestler in every way until she actually talks.
She's the perfect technical wrestler.
Yes. But even in mannerism, she's perfect. When she looks mean, it looks intense.
I don't know. Ronda's in-ring psychology is a little bit off sometimes, in my opinion. Like she puts emphasis in certain places but she's a fighter though. So
I know it's a lot of fighters.
She's still new to this. Ronda Rousey's not even 5 years into being a professional wrestler.
Championship.
You know what I mean?
With Ken Shamrock back in the day, they tried this experiment a long time ago.
Yeah. Ken Shamrock was a lot more dangerous, though. He was really, really hurting people.
Do you think Ronda really?
But that's actually an amazing comparison, though, because Ken Shamrock sort of had that same thing where
don't talk.
He had that aura until he talked.
Yep.
Do you think Ronda really wants to be there? Seems like she's just doing it for a chick. I think she does.
Oh, she's doing it for a chick.
I don't know, though. I think she does want to be there. But I don't think she found her character yet.
Bro, she's hated it. From what she said, she's hated it from the beginning. And now that they're about to start getting on the road, she was gone during the easy time, which was the Thunderdome era. And she was complaining when they were pre-COVID. So, I mean, I don't know.
I don't really know what it is, but
I don't feel like she wants to be there. I feel like she's there to get paid, and she's not trying to get knocked out in the UFC no more.
I don't think they even want to pay. So I don't know. She could be. It's hard to tell though with people because she might like it, but she don't like certain aspects of it, so it comes off and she hates it. So that could be it too. So
she needs to be a heel. Her being a babyface is just
certain people can't be baby faces.
And we're learning Ronda Rousey. There's a reason we compared her to Roddy Piper, I thought. One of the greatest heels in history. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't like her smiling as much. Vince tells everybody to smile.
Exactly.
And I'm like, what? In UFC, she never smiled, and it came off as intense. But Vince tell everybody. Sonya Deville said Vince smile more. I'm like, Vince, they're not baby faces. They don't have to smile. I don't care. You're not silly number sure.
Vince don't care about the babyface heel dynamic. He made that perfectly clear a long time ago.
What else was on the show? That Fatal 4-Way was good. It was just some stuff was just random.
except for the first half of it.
That was some random stuff. That was the random stuff.
Once you got all of the partners out of there, it was decent. After we did the 8-woman free-for-all in the middle of the ring and got it down to the...
Yeah, it got good after that. They said the person in Brooklyn, Barclay, said that people pop for that. They liked it. And then everything, and we're going to talk about the Roman section. I don't know what to say about it. It's just something to carry over because I don't know what else they can do. They done fought 20 times in the last 5 years.
I was about to say, you sort of got to hold it till WrestleMania at this
they
point.
just doing stuff. Brock broke stuff.
You think they're going to throw hands at the Hall of Fame ceremony next week? One last bash before Mania, Roman versus Brock in the stands while Vince is inducting the Undertaker into the Hall of Fame. Either that or Austin Theory attacks Pat McAfee.
It might be Austin. I don't think Brock and Roman gonna touch you. And plus, they supposed to have the Andre Giant Battle Royale next week. So,
I mean, think they both beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania. They are the only two people to ever do that, and they're about to fight each other. Why not have them? Well, pre-show Rumble.
I don't know what I know they doing. I heard they doing a mixture because I do know they next Friday they are doing the Andre the Giant Battle Royale on Friday Night SmackDown.
Oh my Lord, let Andre rest.
They should make that Razor Ramon Scott Hall ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship.
That's a see. If you're watching, send Zelma a check because that's what you either that or we need a Razor Ramon, and I think you said this too, a Razor Ramon annual ladder match or something like that.
Ricochet Ricochet perfect to be the IC title for that.
Well, not after he just lost to Los Lotharios 2 times in a row in 10 minutes. I don't know if he's the right guy to do it now.
Yeah.
Maybe
AEW Rampage, and then we're gonna get into the other main shows. We're gonna try to get through them rather quickly. But AEW Rampage was okay. I like the main event. Swerve and Ricky Starks was amazing.
Yeah. I hate that it's so predictable though. And if we're gonna talk about it, TK got to do something. That show is taking on water fast. I mean, think it started out in the Wednesday Night Wars, bringing in roughly, not the Wednesday Night Wars. When they first started Rampage, they did like 600K, I think, something like that. And now they're doing late 300s, I think. I think they said 380 something.
Get Chris Jericho off commentary.
Yeah, that'll run people away. I hate Chris Jericho. I respect his legacy, and him on commentary is
I hate his commentary.
This new gimmick he might go away, but he didn't. So people go out there and stream his music, so maybe he'll go on tour and get away.
I'm interested in what he's doing now, but he cannot be on commentary.
Are you really interested in the Jericho Appreciation Society?
I'm willing to give stuff a shot, but that commentary is no, we can't do that. Get rid of that.
No.
Dustin and Lance Archer with some reason. What's the name? I'm
gonna say this. Chris Jericho. He did acknowledge that we'd be talking bad about him on the internet because Taz said something on commentary, and Chris said, "I'm gonna steal that and use it next week." I was like, "Yep, there we go. There's the leak. Play into the heel for us at home too." Because the fans, if you've ever been to a real wrestling show, and you'd be surprised at people that don't know this, you don't hear the commentators. Because I remember the first live show I ever went to that was really striking to me that you didn't hear the commentary. You're literally you're watching the matches. So it's good that Chris Jericho's always smart with the marketing. He knows where to get himself over. There's a reason why he's worked for every major company in the last 2.5, 3 decades.
Yeah.
But his commentary is a no-go.
Yeah. The Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament qualifier, the Bunny versus a new signee for WWE. Who do you think that is, Tor?
I honestly, I don't know, but I want to say this in the best way possible because I know it's going to sound controversial, but I'm sort of over the AEW women's division, man.
Take Country to ran you off.
Bruh, it just sucks because there's little spots of such amazing talent. Hey, I try not to say anything bad about Nyla Rose because I don't want to deal with her community at large. They're strong, but
just say you hate the xenophobic plotline. She gonna send somebody.
I don't want to be because I saw that a lot of people felt how I felt about last week's Rampage, not Rampage, but Dynamite. That their match was just a sort of a rewind, a less better version of the unsanctioned match that made them both so amazing mainstream wise. But yeah, I'm just not. I think it's cool because hopefully Owen Hart's family's getting paid from this name usage. So I'm always behind deceased wrestlers' families getting paid. So that's good. I'm just sort of I'm blasé about the women's division. There are what, four wrestlers in the women's division that we know are going to be decent. Maybe 5 if we count Jade getting better. You got Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, Serena Deeb.
Somebody told me that AEW had a way better women's division than WWE. I'm like, you sick.
The people who say that are delusional. Look at the WWE's women's division split over 3 brands.
Bro, NXT might just have overall more popular women's
division. Bro, NXT can have a comparable roster to AEW if we're being for real.
Xia Li and Raquel. And WWE then somehow made Cora Jade important because people like her. Gigi.
They do. People do. She fine. I'll give her that. Cora Jade bad. Little skater chick with the good dang back. As long as it ain't Wendy chewing her pajamas.
Yo, she's killing this gimmick, Tor. You got to give it a shot.
I don't have to.
Joe, Tori refuses to give NXT 2.0 a shot, even though it's continually getting better. Tori like, nope, it ain't old black and gold. It's not black and gold.
It's not. I'm not with it. And now that Tommaso Ciampa's leaving, Pete Dunne is Butch now.
Butch.
Like,
here comes the Butch. Championship Rand said, I'm surprised
so
Owens
horrible.
widow let it happen. She almost want to erase his legacy. I just think she hates WWE.
Well, why wouldn't she hate WWE?
Yeah, that's the point. So,
they hung her husband up from the roof with one of those carabiner clips that you get at the gas station for a keychain, and it resulted in his death. I'd hate him too.
Yeah, she has a reason to hate him, but I think she worked with AEW because they have nothing to do with WWE, so she's willing to work with them.
And she still wants to be. I think maybe his son sort of wants to, because doesn't he have a son that's a younger age that could possibly be wrestling at some point?
I don't know. Let me see.
That's a big legacy sport.
I honestly don't. I believe so. Either way, hopefully, she's getting paid just for the name usage, and that's what I'm about, because we see too many times wrestlers end up freaking getting hurt at work, and because of the independent contractor thing, there's no insurance and no liability on the company's side. So if you end up dying or really getting hurt, you're just sort of out in the wind unless you're like the Hart family and end up having enough money to get a lawyer. And I mean, their
family kind of had an obvious case of negligence.
Well, yeah, but
the most obvious case of negligence.
Exactly. Think about look at like Brian Pillman, even though that didn't happen in the ring, the fact that there was no like insurance policy for him, all like that.
Yes.
I mean,
shout out them for getting a little better
wrestling.
So,
they are.
But AEW Rampage, it wasn't nothing much going on. Like I said, the main event was amazing, but it was.
The main event was good. Swerve versus Ricky Starks.
That was good.
I mean, Ricky Starks deserves to be on Dynamite more. He's got the potential to be so amazing.
You got a 40-minute main event. It's hard to get people.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm always, hey, Ricky Starks a mixed brother. So we look out for each other. So I'm always down.
Yo, can I say this about Rampage tonight and Dynamite? That production team got to learn these moves, because sometimes they be missing clear day up to protect the wrestler, and y'all be showing it full screen.
How they missed you talking about how they missed the double stomp with
he went on the side, and the camera is
right on. So you saw his
feet
part clear as day. I was like, you're supposed to hit that from up above.
I'm like, bro, learn. Somebody please. I ain't no way you watch this show and don't be like, hey, we got to improve production. I saw some I can't remember what it was on Dynamite. When I look it up and I look it on my screen, I'll probably remember. I didn't write the notes down. But it was something else. Somebody clearly missed like a super kick, and they had it on the side. Cause WWE trained their production team, when Shawn Michaels do this, get on this specific side so you can't see it. They went on the opposite side, and you saw the whole foot miss, and I'm like, come on, bro, y'all production team gotta be this.
They got like freaking football routes planned out on freaking Vince McMahon's side, though. You know what I mean? He got them cameramen on a regiment. Like, they know which way to go. They probably, I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't there if they go through the matches beforehand or when they're discussing it, because
to be honest,
you can't get all them crazy cuts without everybody being exactly where they need
Kevin
to
Dunn
be.
going crazy back there. But to be fair, sometimes it
buttons.
protects the wrestlers from.
Gives me a headache.
It protects the wrestlers from like bad punches or something when somebody don't throw punches. So like good, like Dark Order could have used them crazy.
Or the bad habit that everyone has now, where they want to throw their arms up and block the fake punches that are coming at you that you know aren't going to hurt you. So that's why you should just leave your hands down and sell them like they're real.
The Rock used to do back
instead
in the day.
Of you putting your
like they used to do for the Rock,
and then exposing that they're blatantly.
Like they used to do for the Rock. Boom.
Yeah. Hey, the Rock used to make them open up, though. If you go back and watch Rock, you can see him push people's hands down when they try to hold them up. Like, nah, this isn't hurting you. Sell. I'm the Rock.
Monday Night Raw actually had a good bunch of good matches on Raw.
There were more than I expected. Raw, but I'm honestly chalking this up to it's the road to WrestleMania. You got to increase the quality a little bit.
Yeah. We're not gonna go over it too long, but how did you feel about the Kevin Owens thing? Because that crowd lost their mind, and it was the most. I
love that he got them twice. I know a lot of people are salty about it, but I love that he got them 2 times, and it's a testament to the power of Stone Cold Steve Austin. The fact that you made this crowd lose their minds 2 times off of just the sound of glass shattering is still amazing.
Joe, man,
the first letdown because I mean, from the far out cut, from the far away angles, you couldn't immediately tell that it wasn't Stone Cold. At least I couldn't. But as soon as you get a little bit in, you notice. And I can only imagine being live in the audience and watching, like you just see a bald figure come out from away. You hear the music. I think about it like the fact I feel bad for those people because chances are they're never going to see Stone Cold live. Most of us are never going to see Stone Cold live. And they probably really thought that they were about to get to see the rattlesnake that one time. And he broke their hearts not once, but 2 times. And that's being a heel, baby.
I saw a man start crying and then get upset.
It was great. But I understood in a way. Like they were there live and they were like, oh my goodness, this is one random chance that we're going to get to see Stone Cold. He doesn't wrestle anymore. He maybe shows up once every 3 or 4 years to do a talk show with somebody or a pregame show or something. I mean, we're building to his final time in ring possibly. I mean, to think that you're about to get that and then for it to be Kevin Owens with a bald cap and then for him to be talking and you hear the music again after he's already out there and he sells it to the 9.
He looked back hard too.
I was going to say, I thought he was about to hit Bolt too. Everyone thought he was about to run away. And then he just starts cracking up laughing and you realize that he just got you again. And there's no Stone Cold, just Kevin Owens with a bald cap.
They building up to that time that he does actually appear.
Yo, it's that crowd gonna go nuts, Joe.
The fact that he had the guy throw him the beers and then he didn't catch any of them. Then he had the dude get in the ring, hits him with the stunner, picks up the beer. Does he drink the beer? No. He pours them on the guy that threw it at him. Doesn't even drink the beers. Come on, man. This is classic match building. We should have been doing it weeks ago, though.
That's my problem with the whole build, bro. Because I could take the which one was it? I think the Miz could have taken a mask off, and maybe Logan Paul ran it next week. Mike can build enough for you to care. If Logan Paul wear a mask this week, it might go crazy.
Yeah, Logan Paul should have come out with the mask on tonight. No, if he's gonna come out with the mask on, it should be at WrestleMania.
You know that.
But they should have
the booze he would get. That Logan's naturally like disliked by the crowd, so it'd be easy to get the booze off it.
Yeah, but think saving it for Mania. He's gonna come out. He's gonna be wearing that mask. The fact that you only get that with Rey Mysterio, and I'm probably on a Rey Mysterio high because I just finished 2K22. I just finished Showcase Mode, which is all of Rey Mysterio's greatest matches. So, but I mean, the heat's going to be amazing, but he's the only luchador that can get away with taking off that mask and putting it back on. There's no other luchador that you can think of that even the community at large of Lucha Libre are like, yeah, I mean, he took his mask on, but he's literally like the greatest all time. So if he wants to put it back on, if you're not as good as he is or better, who are you to tell him not to? You know what's
crazy though? I feel like if he took the mask off, he was more popular because women loved him.
Hey, the ladies did when he had the beanie on back in the WCW days, had the little blonde goatee bleach.
Women loved him.
Ray had the baby face, and the women were all about him. He was wearing, bro. He used to wear. He had the Powerhouse Hobb look. He used to wear the freaking overalls with no shirt on underneath and a beanie, and it was just Rey Mysterio without his mask.
Yeah.
Too bad he could never stick as like a champion because you can't.
He's taking like.
He's just too small, and he's just too small in the land of the giants, man. You got to think when the average height of the people in the company is like 6'3" and they're weighing in at 245, and here you are at 5'11", 140, 170 something. Maybe they like to push him as a cruiserweight. So 205 at the most in their eyes.
Oh man,
Rey Mysterio, I think he's like 5'8".
He's very little.
Oh damn!
Logan Paul did call him really little. I'm like, oh
yeah. But I mean, it's always, think about it. We be forgetting from the WWE standards where everybody's so huge. Like I heard it on commentary tonight. I'd be forgetting that Dustin Rhodes is freaking 6'5". You know what I mean? Goldust was 6'5". If you think about that, that makes him scarier back in the day. Just a gold guy with a wig on that's like 6'5", 200 pounds, coming up and blowing in your face with a feather boa on.
Just shout out to that division. That was entertaining division in the cruiserweights. That was entertaining,
bro. The cruiserweights. Especially, that's one thing WCW did that WWE tried to take, but they just couldn't.
They did nice with 205 Live, but Vince didn't care about that.
Yeah, I mean, Pac, when he was Neville, was like the height of 205 Live, one of the best cruiserweights ever. But WCW, they had Rey Mysterio, they had Eddie Guerrero, they had Dean Malenko. Yep, Chris Jericho, Dean Malenko, a plethora of others.
I was buying for that for the.
Wasn't Disco Inferno a cruiserweight too, or was Disco Inferno?
I remember Disco getting speared 100 times by Goldberg every week.
Yeah, I would say he ate
speared
like a tackle dummy.
Championship round said he was disappointed because they only put one WCW match in 2K22. It's selling to fans is the issue. Having a tiny man selling to
it was a good match though. It was the Eddie Guerrero mask versus title match in WCW.
Speaking of giant
at Halloween Havoc.
Speaking of giants, we had Omos versus.
Where he wore the purple bodysuit. It was tight.
Speaking of giants, we had Omos versus Commander Aziz. Omos, he did a lot better this week than he normally did, but I don't care about that.
They just need to throw Commander Aziz away. They might need to throw Omos away. If we're gonna keep it real,
I think he's intimidating enough to sell.
He's the 7-footer though. Vince has to have a 7-footer on roster at all points in time, or he does not feel like a man. If there's not, because didn't he beat up Apollo one week? Then he beat up Commander Aziz. Then he beat them both up at the exact same time.
Yeah, he beat both of them up this week.
I sort of understand why people are mad that the only women's match you get in 2 nights are title matches, yet almost gets a random match.
Well, he's kind of like the special attraction type deal. He got to have one.
I wish the special attraction would get a little bit
Khali was a special attraction for years, and he had terrible matches at WrestleMania.
He had a Punjabi prison match, bro.
We had Natalya, Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley.
One of the worst filmed matches ever. How you gonna film through a goddamn lattice cage of bamboo?
Yeah, then we had Natalya, Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan. They were just they just did that to put over this match that people didn't care about. I think it's gonna be an amazing match, by the way. It's gonna be an amazing match, but this belt is weird.
Really? I'm kind of worried.
This belt is weird.
Eight people in a tag matches.
But that
I know
they
WWE
do that good.
multi-man matches better than anybody, and I'll give them that. And there's some amazing. I mean, you can't. Sasha Banks, one of the best wrestlers.
Your
period,
champions are the worst wrestlers in the match.
I was thinking that Zelina Vega's gotten better.
Oh, they ain't bad necessarily, but they the worst wrestlers in this match, regardless.
Yeah.
Look, are you putting Zelina ahead of Liv?
Yeah, Natty, Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Sasha Banks, Naomi. Yeah, they're worse than all of them. You're right.
It's kind of weird when the worst wrestlers are the champions of the match. And nope.
But that sort of builds because you never know who's going to beat them. Because I know who I want to win the titles. I don't know who's.
Sasha need to win at WrestleMania.
See, no, I want Rhea and
to
Liv
be honest
to
with you, if the fact
I live for brutality.
Yeah, I take that back. I agree with you. I don't want them to win. Cause why? I want them to actually play up,
bro. That could be an amazing because it's something new, and not to say Sasha, but we can't just throw Sasha Banks in any title.
But she makes it important.
But you gotta burn her. That's why she be ready to leave though, because Vince burns her out just continually expecting her to save his crap stories with her amazing work. No wonder she be ready to go home until she gets a raise. But I think with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, I think Rhea Ripley should be one of the singles champions. But if it takes her being with the tag team, as long as it's not with Nikki ASH, I'm okay with it. Her and Liv look amazing together. Their aesthetics match. They're both good in the ring. They cover opposite ends of the wrestling spectrum. One's high flyer, flippy with Liv, and then Rhea's power slam you on your head. I mean, match made in heaven. And they're both sexy. Shout out to Rhea for liking black dudes.
And by the way, Sasha, if Sasha gonna win, they do need to play up that she's 0-6, 0-7, and have it a storyline. They actually need to.
Yeah, they gotta address it at some point.
8 at WrestleMania. I did not know that to this week.
Sending healing energy to Big E, though.
And hopefully he get his WrestleMania moment, because I'm tired of him losing at WrestleMania too. Becky Lynch cut a good promo. That ain't much to it. Then Pat McAfee is amazing.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot to it, but it was
good one. I like this.
It was an average Becky Lynch promo, so it was a good promo for most people.
She sell her soul and all that. Pat McAfee is amazing.
I still can't get that image out of my mind though. Just her having Bianca's hair with the chair around her neck and just right into the ring post. Like, that was another piece of stunning. Like, the camera angle was just perfect. Like, there wasn't no. Yeah, it looks like her hyoid bone should have got broke. I agree with that. I'm just happy WWE can still do injury angle.
Yes, man.
As long as it's an angle and she's, because you can believe it if not. If you go back and watch that, but that's a testament to both of them. But she sort of got to win. If she doesn't, mid-card Belair.
Pat McAfee was amazing in this Austin Theory thing.
Always.
He did a new form of suck it. Like an ostrich version, like what they call them. What's the crab from Mr. Futurama called, Joe?
Zoidberg.
He did the Zoidberg walk with the
He did do it. Bro, it was just funny. It's funny because you could tell that he was sandbagging to not catch Austin Theory. Like, you could tell. Because when he took off after him, you saw that old football sprint in him. Because Pat, once he got going, I was like, dang, he cleared that barricade quick. He went from announce desk to ramp.
Yeah.
Real fast.
Yeah.
Man, he might be the highest paid person on the roster, and it's not.
Yeah,
he's
probably
100%
the highest paid.
He's definitely the highest paid person on the roster. That's not Vince McMahon or.
And y'all make him wrestle too.
Why? He got I don't know what WWE paying him, but he got $30 million from his FanDuel contract every year. So Roman's scheduled at 8, so he's about 3 times what Roman do.
I mean, never forget the epic burn from Pat McAfee when he told Sonya Deville, I make more than you do, sweetie.
It's like, I'm your boss. He's like, I make way more money than you.
He was like, well, touche. She was like, I can't, I'm your boss. You're my, yeah, you can't do nothing about that. It was just, Pat McAfee's so amazing.
I'm just trying to get these out real quick. RK Bro Alpha Academy. It was just
you just sort of got to keep it on RK Bro, because I can feel it when the turn comes and Randy Orton finally turns on Matt Riddle. It's going to be so amazing. The fact that Randy Orton just has already called him his friend. He said the F word. And, I mean, now it's just the clock's ticking. I don't know if you start this feud at Mania. Do you have Randy turn on
Street Profits win?
Riddle? But I think they for real got there's an amazing feud that could come from Matt Riddle versus Randy.
What Tori is saying now is basically he want Randy to hold his breath and let the blood rush to his head and yell mother 100 times. Yo, Joe, you saw that video?
Yeah,
I'm like the vein just kind of like he's turned into a super villain.
It's gonna happen though, and like I'm trying to brace myself for it because I'm a real RK Bro fan, but I know that Randy Orton is a viper, and snakes are snakes no matter what.
And the finale, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. Again, Seth Rollins is the MVP of this whole WrestleMania.
Bro, he been putting in work. I mean, I think we talked about it in the group chat. 3 Raws in a row, he put on banger matches. Three consecutive Mondays, just bam, bam, bam.
Like, see, I'm trying to remind y'all, dog. They ain't got nothing from me. Just give me 20 minutes with great workers, and I'm gonna put on them Bryan Danielson almost at level. I can't quite do what he do because WWE don't let me do it, but I can put on banger.
Oh yeah, Seth Rollins is a Hall of Famer for real. There was a reason he was Triple H's protege, just to tie back into Triple H's retirement. He picked the right protege when he picked Seth Rollins. He knew what he had there.
And the people love him. They love that song. He got to turn babyface soon, right?
Hey, that song got him over.
He got to turn babyface soon,
again. Right? Oh yeah, he has to. I think after this episode with I don't know though if he's is Cody coming in heel or is Cody coming in babyface?
He's coming in babyface, but I'm talking about after. It's gonna be after Mania.
So is Cody the conduit for the babyface turn for Seth Rollins?
Maybe.
The American Nightmare comes in and makes his dream come true.
Maybe, because I wonder how they're gonna do it since it's been leaked by Chris Jericho, especially.
Bro, I think at this point it's so big. We don't care. I mean, I sort of wish that we didn't know.
It would be amazing if you didn't know.
So I'm ready to see. Give me Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. I don't care.
It would be so amazing if we had no clue Cody was coming.
It's wrestling Christmas. Give us the gifts.
It'd be so amazing if we didn't know he was coming, and then he just show up.
Oh, if we had no idea, like back in the day, pre-internet, like think back to the big switches of back in the day when Hall and Nash left WWE to go to WCW. I mean, when Brett left after the Montreal Screwjob, I mean, nobody knew these things were going to happen. So now that we do know, I still don't care. I'm ready to see it.
Be amazing. By the way, I think a lot of storylines get hurt because they can't hide stuff. So the internet kind of ruins some stuff.
Exactly.
I would say internet ruined wrestling in a lot of different ways, and I think that's one of them because when you start knowing stuff, it's kind of like, okay, we know this is about to happen. We know who Vince gonna push. We know who's coming, so we know what the storyline gonna end being. And I'm like, it happened with AEW too. Like, oh, this person come. Oh, he gonna have to go in.
TK's a little bit worse about it though, because he's still new and he hasn't had as much time as Vince has to find different ways to do the same thing. So he's getting a little too formulaic and predictable.
Championship round.
Because like how he could have switched my thinking if he'd have just had Swerve win the FTW title tonight. Like that would have changed my mind about his booking process. But no, he really does do it. The same. He's really writing the book.
Championship round said they could bring him out in an exciting, unexpected way, but not knowing what should be better. Yeah, they can still do it unexpected, but it would have been I'd have been crazy. And plus, people, and we search for it. We wrestling fan. We gonna see what's going on, and then the site's gonna have the headlines. They're gonna catch our attention. Let's go to NXT and AEW. Then I'm gonna go review WWE Evil. Roderick Strong versus Solo in the ladder match qualifier. It was a really good match, by the way. Roderick Strong gonna probably still get in because he got that triple threat. I don't see A Kid or Cameron Grimes getting in that match again, especially Cameron Grimes already fought. I don't know.
Yeah, Cameron Grimes is so underrated.
But that was a really good match. I don't know if you've seen it, Tori. That was a really good match. Solo and Roderick.
No, I did not. You know, I'm not the. They killed the black and gold.
Yeah. Tony Deangelo versus Dexter Lomas. That was a nothing match. I don't care about it.
Dexter Lomas, besides being a crazy Stone Cold lookalike, I don't know what else to say about it.
Elektra Lopez and Fallon Henley. That was a decent.
Is she the girl that's the manager for Santos Escobar?
Yeah.
Okay.
They still look green. Both the girls look green, but you expect it in 2.0. Brian Breaker versus Robert Roode was a really good match.
See, I am gonna go back and watch that. Just
you got the glorious. You got the glorious.
But who won it? The Braun Breaker won, obviously. Yes.
Yeah, he picked up the win.
Okay.
Even on Bleacher Report gave that match an A- because it was. You got the glorious return. You got the whole spiel. Good. They got their time.
Yeah.
The Grayson Waller.
I wish he'd grow his ponytail back, man. Robert Roode with a ponytail was back in his TNA days. That was really glorious. Bring back the mullet.
Yeah,
Roode.
Grayson Waller versus A Kid. That was Grayson Waller did a cool, quick move that was ended that match.
Okay, who is this A? I keep hearing about A Kid on
And
Twitter and stuff, but I've still yet to see a picture of said A Kid, and I honestly haven't watched.
You ain't watched NXT UK? He on now?
Not lately. Was he big on? Oh well, alrighty.
What's my people? Shout out to Mina. The pipe gripper is in chat.
What up?
What's up? How everybody doing? We just doing a show. What else we talking about?
Congrats, by the way.
Congrats on partner. My little sister partner. Let's go. We gotta do a whole video on it. Just congratulate my little sister.
Congratulations video inbound.
Yeah, the Creed brothers versus Grizzled Young Veterans. That was really good segment.
Both of those are too underrated. Well, I don't know. Everyone's talking about the Creed brothers could go, but Grizzled Young Veterans, man, they're such a good tag team.
They are. Gunther versus.
That's another match that I might slide back and watch.
Gunther versus Duke Hudson.
Don't call him that, bro. Okay, listen, we can let the WWE play these games. His name is Walter.
Ooh, shout out for the follow. Shout out to the follow for my guy. Ooh, subscribe from Ooh. Ooh, we gotta get some games. I'm gonna start gaming. What's good?
Show Walter his proper respect. Don't call that man Gunther.
Well, he
Gunther and Butch, man.
He slapped all over Duke Hudson's chest, and it was
as he should.
It was very gruesome.
Walter should have the NXT title if we're getting ready to take Braun Breaker main roster side. Honestly, Walter should be main roster side, putting on some bangers with some random babyface that he could get him over it. Walter should go over and beat Omos right now.
How would Omos' chest look after?
Don't bait me into jokes like that. Because, I don't know if you could actually tell. No, the welts would show up. See, look, you be trying to bait me into looking crazy, making jokes like that. You trying to downfall your own monetization.
Hey, this ain't true. We ain't trying to monetize this video. Io Shirai, Kaylee Ray versus Dakota Kai and Wendy Chu.
He might be too dark. The beatings don't show.
Io Shirai, Kaylee Ray, Dakota Kai and Wendy Chu. Amazing match.
I hate Wendy Chu.
That match was incredible. Watch it.
I'm sure it was
What?
watching a girl in pajamas.
Yo,
run
she
around
used it
and hit flying,
effectively.
sleepy
She
time.
used it effective, bro. They did a 619. She put a pillow there, bro. It's intelligent booking.
Of course she did. She put a pillow in front because that's what's stopping the six.
It's so you.
I
Have
want
you
you to
seen how
remember-
big that pillow is? She walk around with that thing is huge,
Bro,
That
shout out to NXT 2.0 for entertaining Zell
yo,
match.
watch the
But
match.
this is a
Watch the
travesty
match.
to me.
Watch it.
This is the house that DIY built that we're talking about. And freaking there's a what are we even, is she a magical girl or does she just have narcolepsy?
Oh,
What's the real gimmick besides Asian schoolgirl with narcolepsy?
I don't know if she want to go to the
Or is that the gimmick?
Lizzie Wizzy Pooh Bear. Hey, you made on YouTube with the Lizzie Wizzy Pooh Bear.
What up, Lizzie Wizzy Pooh Bear?
Yo, it ain't your little sis. Don't be calling people my little
Lizzie
sis.
Lizzie Pooh Bear or Lizzie Lizzie Woo Bear?
That's how you introduced her, fool.
You just say Liz.
What up, Liz?
Well, you said the whole. I was just following.
I thought it was the handle.
But yeah, that's that match. AEW Dynamite was the Darby Allin hardest tour going a rant. How you like it? All I know is
Sting got it. Sting is 62 years old, people.
Joe, it's just old people jumping off stuff. That's what it was. The whole match.
It really is. These men are past their prime, and we're throwing. Tony Khan's like, here, man, let me pay you to go and throw yourself off of furniture in your twilight years.
So inspirational.
Jeff Hardy, a bunch Sting. I'm like, why is Darby not jumping off stuff and everybody else is?
I'm just sad Jeff Hardy didn't dance midway through the match. That should be his new gimmick, that he just hits the fingers just at random points throughout time.
Yo, they
make the gimmick.
Yo, they completely bullied him.
Bro,
he don't even come out.
It was kind of wild, but how you gonna hit the fingers? You were making a save for your brother right now.
Yo,
he is getting stomped out by 4 dudes in the ring, and you stopped to dance before you got there. Come on.
Hey, bro. Hey, and he don't even do it on his regular interest no more, though. That's what
I was about to say. He don't even do that on the intro regularly. That's what I was thinking. I was like, he was like, well, I mean, Matt has been a heel while I've been going, and we're trying to go face right now. So I suppose I could let him get stomped out for a few more seconds by the young black men that he's been stealing 30% of their money for the last year in story. I mean, that was Matt Hardy's gimmick. He was ripping off the black kids with talent.
But that was basically that match, Joe. CM Punk versus Dax Hart. They were trying to write a love letter to Bret Hart.
It was, bro. It was good though. Like Dax Harwood. If he could grow some hair, man, he could go solo.
I'm not lying, bro. Outside of MJF, I am not feeling CM Punk. I don't know what it is. I just can't. I tried to it.
I feel the opposite. I feel the opposite, man. CM Punk is like a fine wine right now, bro. His in-ring psychology is on point. And you of all people, I'm surprised don't. I mean, come on, bro. Look at that, man.
Bro. I'm like, I want him to go here. That's it.
It's coming,
like, bro.
He's thinking about titles now, and heel Punk is always a champion.
Shout out to the Pipe Gripper for subscribing.
Hey, shout out to the Pipe Gripper.
Look, Joe's like, I'm not hitting that shout out. He's like, I don't know if I want to be a clip. There would be a clip.
You call adversity a pipe gripper. He a New York pipe gripper. That's what he do for a living.
That's
if he out there gripping pipes. I mean, I ain't one to judge nobody.
When
we're talking about wrestling, gripping a pipe is a dangerous thing.
He's slinging pipe out here.
Slinging pipe all over.
Yeah.
When you feel
about,
you deserve
the pipe when Mercedes Martinez came out and laid the pipe on Thunder Rosa. That fake pipe.
Yeah.
That ended up bending and breaking.
Yeah, that's my guy, the pipe gripper. Adversity. Let's go. Shout out to Adversity, bro. He the official pipe gripper.
Check that. Thank you.
Chig,
you getting
Tori, are you getting in Jake, speaking of pipe slinging, you getting in Jay Cargill baddies section? Let's go.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Jade Cargill she's grown on me, and if her new gimmick is now kissing women before she beats them, who am I to judge?
So you don't want Joe. Look at
She is a
Joe. Why your
she's a
eyes like
sexy
that,
lady.
Joe? No.
Hey,
Joe, like I'm finna watch this.
I can't blame.
I can't say either way what's gonna happen. I'm just
That's some Vince McMahon flair that they got going on with Jade, man. Have her kiss him before she hits him with the kiss of death. Even though that's kind of stealing from Bianca Belair, they were like, we're gonna give her a literal KOD.
What?
So I mean, they're calling it the kiss of death, where she's kissing the girls before she hits them with the jaded, and Bianca Belair's finisher is the KOD, the kiss of death. So it's sort of a they taking shots.
It's giving Attitude Era, DX, Triple H, random planted.
I don't know. DX was tricking Kane into having relations with dead bodies in 1990 something, so I don't think it's getting to that levels yet. We all remember Katie Vick.
At first they said they know about the pipes. I see you, pipe group.
That's what's up.
Well, we talk about CM Punk pipe bombs for everybody.
What? Okay, Bryan Danielson, John Moxley. What's that group called? Diamond Club?
No, it's the Blackpool Combat
Blackpool
Club.
Combat versus they just dominated them. Ain't that do it? They just
That's such a good team, though. I know I said it last week, but also Bryan Danielson and John Moxley, they're just extremely good at beating people up in the ring.
Yeah.
And William Regal slapping everybody afterwards is amazing.
DX was cool.
Wheeler Yuta is going to go over and join. We've already seen the setup for it. So, and Wheeler Yuta's got so much talent. He's one of the only people that I think we've openly got confirmation turned down WWE to stay at AEW. Had a NXT tryout. They liked him. He was like, nah, I'm going to stay over here. So,
Jericho Appreciation Society or something.
The Jericho Appreciation Society.
They had a match that I didn't really care for. Jay Lethal versus Adam Cole.
I didn't either, and I hate it because I love Daniel Garcia. Love Daniel Garcia, but Chris Jericho.
Liz, it's very random. It's just
it's our fault though. It's
random.
The internet's fault. We talked so much about him leeching from young talent that he was like, yo, why don't I make that my new gimmick? Like, I'm just going to lay into me leeching off of young talent.
Red Velvet, I didn't care about that.
Red Velvet versus Layla Hirsch
she got a kind of new gimmick, so it's kind of cool. It's evolving, I guess. MJF promo was good as always, but expected.
Yeah, he played right into it. Wardlow, I'm going to put your mother out of the house. You don't work for AEW. You work for me.
Out of points.
Yeah, I was going to say he hit all the checks he was supposed to.
And that's this week's in wrestling. By the way, WWE Evil, you had the story of Hulk Hogan. I learned some of it I already knew about, but Hulk Hogan is basically
the racism we already knew about.
They didn't go over that. But yeah, Liz, it's random. I don't know. It just happened out of nowhere. But yeah, the racism, he does that. He was a diva. He got creative control. And the way they did the production from the first episode to the last episode was perfect.
The production value increase or decrease, or it just stayed the same
throughout. But it started out with Hulk Hogan saying, "I was the most powerful man in wrestling," and it ended with,
"He's the reason people don't get creative control clauses anymore. He abused it to the max."
And it ended with Roman Reigns saying, in the episode 9, "Now I have all the power." I'm like, that's perfect to start and end the show. All 9 episodes.
That's WWE storytelling. Good start, good finish. In between,
I'm like that story. Oh, what's up, Pugs? That's Pugs right there. Mind Rim.
What up?
But yeah, start with, I have the creative power. I'm the most powerful man in wrestling. Then Roman Reigns ended. Like, cause the story was with Roman Reigns is that he was out of control. They try to tell the story and that he was out of control. He was trying to, I'm a company man. I'm doing because they don't understand the business. I was just doing what I'm told. I was towing the line. And then when I got sick and I came back, and Usos were like, I didn't see Roman Reigns for 4 months. He just in the studio and like in the gym by himself, just coming up with this character. And Roman said, I told him I'm coming back and I'm doing it my way. And now he said, and then he stole the story about, you can watch it. It's fit. That's the longest one. He was like 50 minutes. He was like, listen, I told them nobody took up the mantle when I was gone. I said, give me my power. He said, I came back with this, and then at the end of the story, like, now I got all the power, and we just getting started. And I'm like, start with Hulk Hogan saying I had the most powerful man in wrestling, and Roman Reigns said, now I got the power. It's like a perfect way to just sum up this whole evil storyline of the whole 9 series. I'm like, that's actually brilliant.
Follow the narrative all the way through. You're a sucker for continuity.
And I don't know how in the world can they production team put all this together in 9 episodes and stick to it, but they can't put a wrestling show together and stick to it.
If they don't do it, they got to deal with Vince McMahon, and don't nobody want an almost 80-year-old man that bench presses 1,000 pounds a week to come and knock on your door.
But that's crazy. I don't understand how you can have these documentaries that tell amazing stories and continuity, and they all good, and then you go watch the show and you be like, what?
Well, that's because they can't do it. Because think about like the theatrical matches. Some of them were really, really good. Some of them not so much. Like I think John Cena and Bray Wyatt, their Firefly Funhouse match. Amazing way to do a theatrical match. Undertaker versus AJ Styles. Amazing way to do a theatrical match. Not so good, however, on the other hand, you have like Team Taz and versus Sting and Darby, where that was a theatrical match that was a little, where did all these hooligans that came and jumped everybody come from? When did Darby and Sting go and get this gang of ruffians? And I think WWE, when they have like production power, like editing involved, it's always going to be a classy affair, as opposed to when everything's just happening on the fly.
Yeah, but those when I say the things I took out before we get off here, and shout out to the squad. We do this every. Well, I don't know if y'all don't care about wrestling, most of y'all, but Wednesdays we do Keep It 99 Live. It'll be a fun show. We just talk randomly about random stuff. It'll be fun. Yeah, you do need that dark element for those championship matches, championship rounds. But things I took from it, Tori, and anybody that's watching it, I'm not gonna give spoilers. I gave kind of a spoiler at the thing, but it's just talking points that fit, so y'all see it. But they all 50 minutes, so it's a lot I didn't tell y'all. But the Miz one is very good. I don't know about Steph and Ric Flair. I ain't watched it yet. Roman's was probably the second weakest, but it's fun to learn. But it's most of the stuff you heard from, because Roman seemed to get like a lot of documentaries, so it's kind of things you know.
I was about to say,
like the last 10 minutes.
When you beat cancer twice, they're gonna put the spotlight on you.
The last 10 minutes kind of is when the last 15 minutes, I think, it become about the tribal chief and it gets good, but you're like, dang, this is real short. But like you gave me a 58 minutes and most of it's about Roman Reigns getting booed the whole time and how he overcame it. But we know this story, but then.
An ode to his career rebirth, how he's been here for 5 years, but the last 2 are all we care about. Well, he's been here for 7 years, and the last 2 are all we care about.
But he did confirm the acknowledge me storyline. Why do I say acknowledge me? Because I'm insecure because the crowd booed me for 5 years.
I was about to say.
So now I ran.
He got The Rock. Yeah. That's real. That's real heat. If you can get people to boo The Rock.
Yeah, so he said the reason, the creative, he said the reason I use acknowledge me is because for so long they didn't.
The creative was a big one.
Yeah, so he basically said the people didn't acknowledge me. So now, even though I'm the champion, people like me, I still say it out of insecurity. That's the whole logic of the character. Like, oh, y'all hated me so long. Acknowledge me now. So I'm like, okay, you in this character. You gave a reason for why the character.
Oh yeah. The psychology is right on.
So basically this character is created from all the years that you was hated. which is brilliant.
That's how wrestling's supposed
And then
to
they
be.
was explaining how the storylines was kind of going. Each storyline was kind of after the Jey Uso was all the people that he got booed against. He was going against in a way. From John Cena talking about, oh, you wrote your thing on your hand. Nah, I dominated John Cena. They booed me against Brock.
He's in God mode.
Yeah.
Bro.
Seth Rollins storyline. He said we did all that, but he didn't go over them because he just stopped at John Cena.
They still need there's a rubber match in there somewhere. Though.
But Seth said he gonna try to get it back, and he keep every time Roman tweets, he tweets at him like, "You ain't beat me yet." So I guess they still got that.
It's got to happen.
Yeah. But I'm like, the psychology that you put into this character is amazing.
Hey, if Paul Heyman's willing to put his stamp on it, it's something that's gonna change the game.
The last 15,
CM Punk, Brock Lesnar.
In the last 15 minutes, again, Paul Heyman came like, it made sense that I joined him. Of course I was gonna always join him. One of my first gigs was with his father. Why would I not join him? I'm like,
I mean, it makes sense.
Like I said, the Miz, they went through how the Miz was created and how the Miz is a real life character that was created on the real world. And I'm like, I did not notice that he was actually creating the Miz. He's like, I am the Miz on the real world, looking lame as I don't know what.
Oh yeah, that's all. That's one thing I will always remember as a child of the '90s, watching MTV during the great uprising of reality television. I mean, Real World Road Rules. I mean, all of those shows
I'm not gonna spoil a lot, but I am gonna spoil this. The Miz said that promo with Daniel Bryan was real.
Oh, I bet. See, I confirmed.
He said
we all knew it in our hearts. That was
he said
just,
that he said I lost control. He said that he said I said something to Daniel Bryan. I don't remember what I said. He said he got mad because he said you can't wrestle anymore. Daniel Bryan really got mad and walked off. And he started yelling because he said you wrestle like a cop. Because Daniel Bryan really is on it. Wrestle hard, go give it your all, and the Miz ain't.
Oh yeah. He's like, I'm trying to go till I'm broken. But...
And the Miz kind of like, I'm trying to be here every day. So he said that he's like, I don't really respect you. And the Miz said, it ain't even that he said that. It's I looked in his eyes and he meant it. And it was supposed to be something else, but I looked in his eyes, he meant it, and I lost it.
Yeah. It's good that he admitted that because I think anyone you can go back and look at that promo back on, was that Raw Talk or was it Smackdown? Okay. Just the look in the Miz's eyes when he went off on Bryan Danielson, when he gave him the whole spiel about I wrestle the way I wrestle and I can still wrestle. You wrestle the way you wrestle and you wish you could still wrestle. I mean, whew.
Yeah, he said because it was supposed to be, he didn't really explain it, but he kind of did. He said it was supposed to be, why am I not getting TV time and blah, blah, blah. And then it's going to be something simple. He's like, but when he looked in my eyes and I saw you meant it, that you wrestle like a coward. He basically was like, this is my dream. And you telling me.
And see, they went back to the NXT days.
Yeah, they showed that whole storyline. That's why I said Miz is Daniel Bryan's number one rivalry forever because they are synonymous. That rivalry epic.
I was about to say they literally
that rivalry is epic. And they so opposite. That is amazing that it fits.
Yeah.
They're the completely opposite person.
Hollywood meathead versus vegan naturalist hippie.
Yeah, dude got in from the real world because he was already kind of famous, and the other dude kind of got in, even though
Bryan Danielson became famous in all of our hearts from Ring of Honor.
And so
the first ever Ring of Honor.
And Bryan Danielson got respect, and the Miz, even though he came in, he didn't get respect. So they circled completely around.
Full circle.
So that rivalry is always meant to be perfect because and then they even put them together at the beginning of the seasons and all that stuff. Yeah. So
and or what it was NXT when it was a game show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Before Triple H did the rehab.
Yeah. So they had all that, and it was like, I'm like, this storyline. Storyline just meant to mesh. And they probably the closest characters to themselves outside of Randy Orton. Beside Randy Orton. So Randy Orton, if you watch that show, you realize Randy Orton completely himself. The whole he like, yo.
Oh yeah.
Tori, I thought everybody know this. I thought that them was works when he was slapping them reporters. Randy Orton said, I almost got fired for slapping them people.
But you got to think, Randy Orton, second, third generation. I mean,
He said
couldn't cut it in the military,
21.
so he took the dishonorable
They went over that
discharge.
too.
Got his daddy to get him into
They
wrestling.
went over all that. All thing he didn't go over is what happened in them days. He said, I saw things I wasn't supposed to see. And I was like, that sounded like my daddy said the same thing when he came from war.
We all know from the stories, Randy Orton be sitting around listening to rap music, getting high, living life. Randy Orton's real, like, he is his authentic self. The voices in his head are real.
He explained it too. He like, I figured out what it meant, and that's a great thing too. His wife said, hey, Randy Orton kind of got confused on who Randy Orton was because he never really had a chance. They explained how daddy was gone. Bob Orton said I only saw him 12 times a year.
I would say Cowboy Bob was a champion during the territory days all over the place.
He said he only saw Randy Orton 12 times a year from like 5 to 11. So he didn't get to spend time with him.
Sounds
he
about
said, I'm
right.
in Japan for 100 straight days. When can I see him?
Giant Baba working boys to the bone. Yeah. He was like, I'm bringing these guys in. Y'all gonna wrestle.
Yeah, he said he was in Japan. I'm like, I didn't know Bob Orton was in Japan. That's cool.
Oh yeah, you got to think any big cowboy wrestler, they're gonna eat that up in Japan. It's Western culture that they love to indulge in for some reason.
The Sasha Banks one was really good. The Brothers of Destruction one was cool, and that's what I want to come to before we end. Joe, Tori's least favorite person in all of wrestling invented his favorite.
It's so ate up.
Bruce Pritchard said Vince had like, we need something to change to do something amazing. Bruce Pritchard like, I came up with the Undertaker, and then he said, "See,
I always thought Vince came up with the Undertaker, so that really was news to me."
Said he came up with him
because Bruce Pritchard, and even though he made the greatest thing in wrestling, he is still the worst. He is the reason the WWE is bad.
Did you remember he made up Kane?
Man,
he told the story.
Kane's not as good as the Undertaker though, and after the Glenn Jacobs tweets of just a few
the Undertaker
weeks
ain't
ago,
that loved right now either because he going wild.
Well, the Undertaker's always loved over here. You see, he's on my shirt. We share a birthday. I mean,
well, I just want to say this. I think all the credit goes to anybody that makes the name Paul Bearer.
He made him too. Bruce Pritchard made him too.
Looks like this.
That name is genius. Like,
yo, Tori,
Paul Bearer, Undertaker.
Yo,
Paul Bearer, Undertaker.
God dang cohesiveness, more Western style. The old gunslingers back in the day, Paul Bearer, the Undertaker, god dang, had the duel in the street. Somebody got shot, you get caught an Undertaker.
Bruce Pritchard said he took the Undertaker, he wrote it down, drew it, and took it to Vince and said, yo, that Mark Calloway guy we met, he's perfect for this.
Mean Mark Callis.
Yeah, because if you listen to Undertaker's story, he don't know that Bruce did it. He said Vince called him and said, is this the Undertaker?
Yeah, that's why I always thought, because Undertaker seemed like a Vince idea, honestly, but also the gobbledygooker was a Vince idea. So.
And then he said he made up Kane as Championship said, it was meant to be the Undertaker because he was probably thinking about making Kane name Abel because the story come from Kane and Abel.
Yeah, I've actually heard that before. Because
Kane and Abel.
In the Undertaker's very first match, he's announced as Kane the Undertaker. Yeah. And then they changed that up.
Yeah, so because Bruce Pritchard said he wanted to name Kane because Kane is the first murderer. He's the first evil person in the world. So
the father.
So he's the first evil person. So they wanted to use his name. So.
And as a kid, I ate that story up. I really thought that was a real thing.
Paul Bearer was Bruce said Paul Bearer came in and said, he like, what do you do? He like, I'm a mortician. He like, perfect. I need somebody to talk for the Giants, dog.
Oh, yeah. Well, then no wonder it fits so well. Paul Bearer was a mortician.
I just told a little bit of it, but them stories they told was amazing. I have not watched the Ric Flair and Stephanie McMahon one yet, but it's really good. Even though it seemed like it's all of them like 50 minutes, so it's a lot in there.
There's only one part of Stephanie's that I want to hear about, and they ain't gonna
What
talk
they
about
did?
it. So.
I ain't watching. What they did?
Hey, then I will be. If we get to talk about the goddamn Macho Man Stephanie situation, then I'll be a happy camper. Put it on record.
Yeah, but let's be honest, they ain't gonna talk. But when somebody was dressed, you remember Vince got upset at The Rock because he mentioned the dude with Macho Man. You remember that? We got a Macho Man thing. Vince was like,
that's how you know it's true though, because like I said, the Macho Man he's not in any of the opening like scenes where they show all the past matches. He'll never get mentioned. I mean, even the Ultimate Warrior gets mentioned, and he was holding the whole promotion hostage at some point.
Is he on WWE website?
What, Macho Man? Probably not.
Yeah, he is in there.
I don't know. He's not in 2K22, but he was in 2K20, I remember.
He is on here. He don't got no information on him, though. Randy Savage.
No, because he committed the ultimate sin.
They do mention him from WCW, though. Oh, he is a Hall of Fame inductee, though.
Well, they had to. He's Macho Man Randy Savage. He had to go in the Hall of Fame. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Macho Man, he did get mad at The Rock for mentioning I just remember that.
Yeah, what wouldn't you be, bro? Come on now, 40-year-old man.
He is into
slumming it with.
He is in 2K22.
Oh, well then I ain't seen him yet.
I've seen LeBron and Steph Curry in there.
I've seen Aiden Ross fight Solo Manada.
Well, I mean, I'm sure somebody's made him in the creator character, but as far as playing through my rise and. I actually haven't started a universe mode yet, so I haven't looked through the full roster. So he could be there.
Yeah, he on there. I see. I'm looking at it now.
Okay. Well,
Vince don't like him mentioned on TV though.
They don't make the money. I was gonna say they still don't mention him on.
Yeah, he has a terrible. Ric Flair has a terrible run too. They put old Ric Flair on the old man Ric Flair with a little funny looking head.
Oh yeah,
that is a terrible thing.
They finally put bald Shawn Michaels in the WWE, at least in they finally took away the hair.
They just start.
And during the My Rise, he cracks a joke about his lazy eye, so they're having him lean all the way into it.
Yeah, why don't they use Seth Rollins' real voice on that game? They use some random.
They do.
I thought that sounded like somebody else. The one I heard.
Oh, well, but I can't tell if they use somebody. He sounds like himself.
1,000 VC gets you a overall rating of 88. Macho Man Randy Savage. So good luck with that.
But we're about to get out of here. Joe, if y'all don't hit that, I think your thing should be in the description. But go follow Joe, his Twitch. He'll be on Twitch playing Red Dead, playing horrible.
Yeah, sometimes
he's gonna be riding a horse.
Hogan has a contract with the game where you can't take his bandana off.
That's
Hulk Hogan.
Hey, that's a very Hulk thing.
Creative control Hogan, but
I'm gonna test that as soon as we get off of here. I'm going to custom characters and try and take Hulkster's bandana off.
But that's hilarious. Thank you, champion. Thank you, championship round for being around.
We all know what's under it.
Like I said, like and subscribe. We'll be here next weekend doing a watch along of WrestleMania. So we will not have a podcast next Friday, but we will be next Friday at 11 Eastern every time, 11:05 Eastern every time. So we'll be here every Friday except next week because we are doing a watch along with WrestleMania. So hope to see y'all there. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna watch it together, and we're gonna comment on it, and we'll tell you our real thoughts. And hopefully Saturday be really good. And I'll
be prepared for expletives. I can feel it coming.
If Bianca lose, I might be the one to do it.
Hey, I might pop for that. I'd be like, dang, they really just gave up on her.
Oh, we gotta get Craig in here.
That's real.
If they lose, I'm calling Craig on the call. Craig
gonna lose it. If Bianca loses that, Craig is gonna have a whole Twitter rant inbound. He is not gonna be happy about it, about how they're disrespecting these black women like that. It's Vince McMahon.
Liz, when are you streaming?
Putting people down.
Liz don't stream no more. My little sis don't stream.
Hey, with that being said, man, I'm gonna holler at y'all.
Yeah. Peace.
Back together.
Thank y'all
Also, way to
for
go.
staying in, hanging with your boy. I know wrestling ain't kind of your type, but we got some show for you. We'll do one Wednesday, so I appreciate it. Again, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that stuff. We're gonna have a good one. I'll probably be on Twitch starting next week. Doing something. I don't know. I might be on my Zelmay channel, so subscribe to that. It's in my link tree below. Liz got the merch too. Shout out to her. She says very comfy. That's what we going for here. Tori, you have a good night. Y'all have a good night. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Y'all looking real cute tonight. Peace.